Natalie, once again, the stage is yours.
Hello and welcome again to the session Ready, Set, Sale, Prime Day and Mega Shopping Event Strategies, where we talk about how to manage healthy inventory levels and run effective on and off Amazon promotions and ads during the Mega Shopping events. I am Natalie, Marketing Manager of Amazon Global Selling, and I'm pleased to have successful Amazon sellers and our account manager, Gilmin, in this panel discussion with us. If you've attended some of our past events, I'm sure you will find their faces very familiar. So Ivan is the leader of Care Babies, a 40 million baby care brand that has enjoyed year-on-year double-digit growth on a steady basis. So then we also have Xing Quan, the co-founder of Naoki Matcha, who started the business together with Samuel in 2016 to generate some side income while celebrating his love for matcha. And lastly, we have Casey, who wears many hats as an Amazon seller, while also being the founder of More Web Services. So I'm sure many of you here, you're actually preparing for like the peak season, the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and so there are many different shopping events, and this might often feel overwhelming. So we'll break it down into actionable insights in this panel discussion for you. So as sellers based in Singapore selling in the US, it's sometimes easy to miss out on the mega shopping events happening in the US. If you're not familiar, Prime Day is Amazon's biggest deal event of the year, featuring deals on top brands and small businesses. So Xing Quan and Casey, how was Prime Day this year on 12 and 13 July for the both of you? Yes, it is there.
Hi everyone, I'm Xing Quan. I'm the founder of Naoki Matcha. So this year for Prime Day, I think we did around a 2x uplift. But because
2x?
of my product category, it's actually a way for my brand to reward loyalists. Because when you buy a food product, you buy it based on a needs basis more than buying it just because it's cheap. So it's just to ensure that people who have always wanted to try my brand gets a chance to do so for the first time. And for those who have already purchased from us in the past, maybe this is a time to pick some up again to see whether this product is suitable for their taste once again.
Yeah, so I think if you didn't catch what Xing Quan said, he mentioned that he actually uses Prime Day to actually, have customers who have not tried his product actually try it during this discounted period, and also for existing sellers to stock up on their matcha that they've always been drinking on a daily basis. Yeah, so and he experienced 2x sales during Prime Day this year. So Amazon also hosted for the very first time this year a second early access Prime Day on 11 and 12 October. So Ivan, how was your second Prime Day sales compared to your previous weeks of sales?
Yeah, okay, so this is the first time that Amazon is doing a second Prime Day. So it was surprisingly, we didn't know what to expect. But then so we thought like maybe it would do like maybe a half of what we did for the actual Prime Day. But in fact, to our surprise, we did actually about close to 80% of what we did for this year's Prime Day. So I think in a way it's good for us to allow us, like what Xing Quan said, to get us more new customers by offering deals and discounts for our product and our brand. So overall, I think it's good that Amazon is running more discounts deals for us.
Yeah, so this is really unheard of. This is really the first time we're actually having a second Prime Day on Amazon this year. So it's really encouraging to hear that you did 80% of the first Prime Day, which is really actually very amazing to hear. So taking a step back from Prime Day, Gilmin, could you please list some of the key shopping events in the US that our sellers should look out for? Because again, to repeat, this is for the US. So sometimes the festivals and everything is different from Singapore.
Thanks, Nat. So aside from Prime Day, we are also expecting BFCM, which you have already heard many times today. That's happening on the 25th to 28th of November. Right after that, we are expecting the year-end gifting season. So as people start shopping for Christmas, 25th of December, typically we see buyers start adding to cart from the second to third week of December onwards. So I think later on our panelists will be sharing a little bit more tips, but that would be enough to keep you busy for the rest of the year.
Yes, so BFCM is Black Friday, Cyber Monday for short. And also, this month there's Halloween, and then also gifting season is up. So this is really the peak shopping season in the US. So an important aspect of preparing for mega shopping events is inventory management. I'm sure most of you know that. So that's really important because how well you manage your inventory directly impacts your bottom line and ensures you have sufficient stock to take advantage of increased traffic on Amazon.com during these peaks. So we'll talk a little bit about healthy inventory levels, which is the sweet spot between enough and not too much. So Casey, what is the biggest challenge you face with inventory management and inventory and supply chain management during this period?
Okay, when we do this seasonal marketing, we have to plan our inventory together with the marketing, because when you plan to sell, you forecast to sell, let's say 100 units or 1,000 units, you need to have the inventory ready to keep par with your sales planning. Okay, so in order to do that, so you need to consider that how much times your product from your supplier send it to the Amazon warehouse. Okay, and you also need to consider during the peak season. Okay, and let's say the normal transition time is about 2 weeks. So during peak season, they might takes more times, like up to a month, to process your inventory, all the units. Right. So the most important thing, what we can do is during this period, sometimes Amazon does limit how many units you can send to their warehouse. Okay. It's not like you want to send 1,000 units, Amazon would allow you to do that. So they might limit your maximum limit to, let's say, 200 units. Okay. So that means each shipment, when you send it to Amazon warehouse, the maximum is just 200 units. So what we do is, this is what the experience taught us, like during last year, the COVID time, the logistic issue, all these things. So in the future, or let's say this year, and what we did is, we send some of our units to the US third-party warehouse. Okay, so when we are limited by Amazon to send a certain specific unit to the Amazon warehouse, we will separate them into smaller quantity. Right, that's how we handling the inventory.
Yeah, I think like what Casey mentioned, so you really need to prepare your inventory in advance. And also sometimes you might need to leverage on third-party warehouse if you want to send more inventories that is above the restock limit. So how long in advance do you actually prepare for your products to be shipped to the US fulfillment centers for these peak shopping periods?
Okay, usually I work backwards. Let's say I'm planning for the Christmas end of this year. So my supplier will take how many days to prepare the shipment? And also from, if my supply is from China or is it from Europe, it takes about 2 weeks or 3 weeks time to reach the US warehouse. Okay, and then from US warehouse, I'll send it to my third party, and from the third party, or is it direct to the Amazon warehouse? It's all there are quite a few things to consider. Okay, that's how you need to calculate all these things and make sure you have enough inventory for this festive season. And also another important thing is that if, let's say, in case you don't have enough inventory, what would you do? Okay, before the event day, you might want to slow down your advertisement spending. Okay, you don't spend so much on all these advertisement, because you already know that you don't have enough inventory to cover all these periods. So you slow down the things and let it get through. And even after the festive season, you still have enough inventory to cover the rest of the period.
So a lot of planning way before in advance. Next question is Xing Quan. How do you make sure you have enough inventory?
Natalie, so for a food product, it's slightly different because there's the concept of expiry dates. I'm sure you know when you buy food. So my supply lines are a little bit different. There are some packaging materials that come from China, and most of my ingredients or the main food item actually comes from Japan. So, and they are flown in on small batches, whereas most of my packaging supplies come via a boat from China. Just an example, we actually gave out some samples in the goodie bags right now for you to try, but the point is that the tea in those samples come from Japan. The envelopes are actually printed both in China as well as in Singapore, and then there's a service provider that puts it all together. So in that sense, as long as there is enough time for my service providers to package the item and send it over to Amazon is a lot easier for me because if I fly things in, it's a lot faster than shipping things in. And there won't be too much of problems with customs and delays because we are flying them in versus shipping them in. To that end, if my sale volumes go up, I just fly more in. And all I need to do is to tell my factories in Japan to make a buffer. And there's actually not much ways for me to work around that at this point of time. Because if I make too much at one time, then if the expiry dates get too close, then it's harder to sell off the inventory as well. But all in all, in addition to what Casey has mentioned, if I expect some delays to happen, I would fly them in slightly earlier, but not 2 or 3 months early, at most 1 month. And that's the kind of difficulty that you have to deal with, especially when considering items that have an expiry date.
Yeah, I think for Xingquan it's quite a unique scenario because products like food have expiry date, so he really actually uses air freight rather than sea shipment. So that allows him to really bring his products on time. And then it's quite unique that you have your products like just different places, like the matcha in Japan, the packaging in the US. Yeah, and then just different parts at different countries and putting it all together. Yeah. So elaborating on that, Ivan, what is the minimum base of inventory that you consistently hold as you inbound new inventory?
Okay, talking about inventory management, I think there's a lot to talk about. It's a very, very big topic. And so initially from the beginning, we manage inventory by number of units. But now every year we are constantly growing, and we are growing at double digit every single year or even months. So we now look at inventory on days of sales value. So we call it, so imagine today I sell 10 units, and in a month I'll sell 300 units. So we calculate inventory via number of days of stock that we have. So we use this theory. For those of you who are in supply chain, you'll be familiar with this min-max concept, whereby our inventory will, because as you sell every day, your inventory will keep getting lower, and there's a minimum threshold that we cannot go below. So once it goes below, it means that we are critically out of stock. I mean, we are critically low in stock, and then that's when our marketing side have to take some actions to like slow down or like to increase prices or like to do stuff that to slow down the total number. Say no, we'll go out of stock. And there's one rule in Amazon is never go out of stock. Okay, there's the number one rule. Okay, if you go out of stock, then all your past efforts, all your ranking, all your whatever, your keyword, whatever, all will tank. And you're going to be very expensive to relaunch when you go back in stock. So our number one rule when we do is no out of stock at all costs. So sometimes when we are very low in stock, we have to use air shipment, even if it's very expensive. We just have to do it and just make sure you don't go out of stock. Maybe this batch of goods, we treat it as we don't earn money, but at least we don't go out of stock, whereby we need to spend even more to do relaunching and stuff like that, or do more advertising later on. So back to the question, sorry. Your question was how many days of stock do we hold, right? So in Amazon, we actually hold a minimum of 30 days. So our stock value cannot go below 30 days. And we hold a maximum of 90 days in Amazon. So you keep flowing around this range and then replenish accordingly. And then the rest of our stock, we store it in China, and we also store it in our third-party logistics. So this will allow us to have good IPI score, if you know what's IPI score, good sell-through, and also like to optimize the storage fee for Amazon. Because now Q4, the storage fee is 3 times more than the usual. Yeah, so I mean, I have a lot of stories to tell you about inventory, but then I think we are running out of time.
Yeah, I think you can, if you have more questions on inventory, I mean, there's lunch after this and networking at the main area. So if you want to ask Ivan more questions about inventory, or you want to discuss your own inventory tips, yeah, please feel free to do that. And apart from, inventory management is very important during this period, but running promotions and ads are also very important, to take during this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or peak shopping events. So some sellers run promotions like coupons, bundle deals, buy one, get one. So Ivan, what are some of the promotions that you run during mega shopping events? Like what do you do differently for these ads during mega shopping events?
Okay, this is the second part of the story. Okay, the first part you must have inventory first. Then only you can do all these bundle deals and promotions and stuff like that in order for you to maximize your Prime Day sales. So after you are ensured that you have enough sufficient stock for all these mega events, then what we do is we run a lot of stuff. In terms of promotion, we do like lightning deals, if you know about them. Lightning deals. We run Prime exclusive discounts. We turn on coupons, and we also do virtual bundles. If you're brand registered, you can actually do virtual bundles. And then we also do like on a promotion, there's also a promotion that you can do like, so we do a lot of cross-selling. So if you buy one of A, you can get B for 15% or 10% or whatever. If you buy B, you can get C for 10%. You buy A and B, you can get C for something else. So we have about 350 different products. So you keep doing all this cross-selling, you'll create like a whole spider web of promotions that you can do. So we have like, I don't know, thousands of promotions and thousands of virtual bundle listings that we have on Amazon. And that's how we maximize a lot of cross-selling and getting new customers to know about different products that we have.
Yeah, I think like what Ivan mentioned. So cross-selling is very important during this peak shopping season, because that's where there are discounts, and shoppers are more likely to want to try new products from a brand that they're familiar with. That's why you want to cross-sell with another product. Maybe you can give some examples of like holiday specific ads or content that you run on Amazon, like Amazon Live, or your own brands like social channels.
So we also do Amazon Live. We do Amazon Live once a week. So instead of us doing the Amazon Live, we engage we actually found an expat in Singapore who's an American to do the live for us, to showcase our product and to do discounts. So Amazon Live is like, if you're brand registered, you can actually have brand followers on your store. So if you get enough of these followers, every time you go on live, Amazon Live, all these followers will get a notification on their app. Thereby they can tune in to all this to watch your live. So what we found very interesting is, in fact, people don't really, in fact, if you do like a normal live, doing 10%, maybe it will not be so enticing for people to watch you like through for the whole 1 hour. But what we did was we do a lot of giveaways, we do contests, we do games with our followers. At the same time, like we put pitching and selling products as like a secondary thing to it. So at the end of the event, there'll be a giveaway whereby they can win something, whereby they can also join contests to whatever to do whatever you want them to do. So on our social media, we also do a lot of IG shoutouts. We do a lot of TikTok videos, and we do team-based game contents specifically for like so if you go to our Instagram, I know our brand is Kia Babies. Go to our Instagram, you can see like we are running like a snake and ladder contest now. Yeah, so it's like it's not just a typical giveaway, but you can do games, and there's like bingo whereby you can find the correct answer, crossword puzzle. Once you can find the answer, you can stand a chance to win something. So we make it fun and make it engaging for our customers and our followers to constantly want to come back to our social media, to our website, to our Amazon Live, to keep on listening to us and to hear more about products.
Yeah. Yep, I think that's really interesting. So you do a lot of gamification, like theme kind of giveaways, like Halloween giveaways, Christmas giveaways, and also just constantly engaging with your customers on your different channels, so on Amazon Live, on your Instagram channels, on TikTok, and just many different channels. So I know this discussion is a very big topic actually. So we actually have lunch after this. So if you want to continue the conversation, please feel free to continue it during lunch.
This one can talk one day.
Yeah, inventory management, huge topic. Running ads, how to optimize that. Yeah, that's a big topic. And actually later we also have another fireside chat with Ivan and one of our other speakers, Debbie. So that's where we also go more in depth on like customer obsession. How do you actually engage with your customers on different channels and platforms. So maybe you can catch that session later at, I think it was at 4:30 p.m. in the main hall. Yep. So one last question. Okay. So we know with all of these different tips and important advice on inventory management and ads, right? Another important thing is like the key deadlines that you need to take note of, because you need to make sure you send your inventory on time. So Gilmin, maybe you can share what are some of these key deadlines to take note of when preparing for these key shopping events.
Thanks, Nat. So just now Ivan mentioned about lightning deals, 7-day deals. Unfortunately, for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that was over from 2nd of September, but you can now enroll into Prime Exclusive Discounts, PED, from today until 28th of November. But that being said, I recommend to enroll it earlier, like tonight, or latest 1 week before 25th of November, so that you get sufficient time to troubleshoot any issues. The second date to take note of is FBA inventory inbound date. Please ensure for BFCM that your inventory is in checked-in status by 2nd of November. That's 1 week from today. And for Christmas, that will be 1st of December. All right?
Yep. Thanks, Gilmin. So that's it for this panel discussion. So thank you so much for your kind attention. I'll hand the stage back to Rin. Thank you so much, everyone.